So there's no training today. So we're going to give you guys like a rundown of my full day of eating. We are going to go to the gym and do some light active recovery. Get ready for my work week and things like that. But first thing on the menu is protein pancakes. So this is, gosh, if I remember right off the top of my head, 712 calories. So the last video I said was 683. It's actually 712, but there are 63 grams of protein. I do know there's probably about 80 grams of carbs, but the fats are extremely low. So I don't know it off the top of my head, but my goal is to drop down to 175 pounds. So right now, this morning, I weighed at 209. So that's 1 pound more than last week. I believe I fluctuated up because yesterday I slept in. I had a lot of things going on. So I didn't get to eat in a normal routine or schedule. So I crammed in my last meal's worth of calories and macros into one giant ass meal. So I think my body's still digesting it, but I didn't even eat all the meals. I ate 3 out of the 4 meals I was supposed to eat yesterday. So, but I think when you combine them together, your body takes a while to digest it. So that's probably why I'm a pound up. But in reality, I feel better. I feel stronger. Week over week with my tracking of reps and sets, the weight has gone up and we're getting better. But, this is a solid meal. I think everybody should try this. If you don't know how to make it, just Google CBum protein pancakes, or I'll just drop the recipe. I'll drop the recipe somewhere. Sorry, I'm having like a bad nasal drip problem right now. I'll drop the recipe in the description. So my recap of these last 2 weeks. One is I absolutely love the 4-day split. It's probably my favorite type of split I've ever done. Going from like 75 hard, I've done 6 days a week, I've done 5 days a week. For 4 days, it's solid. You get a lot of flexibility in your day. So if something comes up and I'm not able to go to the gym, well, I get 3 of those per week. 3. I just got to make sure when I'm taking 3 of those days that 2 of them I'm getting some stretching, mobility, and active recovery in to reduce the amount of injuries that I'll get in the future. I want to be flexible. I want to have good range of motion on everything, not be stiff as a board. This is something I haven't really prioritized, previously. So I want to do it now. I want to prioritize it now and 2 times a week. I think that's feasible. I don't think that's asking too much. Other thoughts about it being a pound up. The last couple weeks, diet hasn't been dialed in specifically because I've been trying to spend as much time with my girl as possible. So it's been going away parties, this, that, and the other, also holidays. When she got the news she was going to be going to Africa, there was Thanksgiving coming up, there was Christmas, all this stuff. So diet wasn't dialed in perfectly, but that's okay. Because now I have 6 months to dial it in to a point to where it's consistent. And when she gets back, we can still enjoy those things because I'm going to get to a solid foundation to where most of the time I'm eating healthy. And then on date nights, family events, whatever, we can go enjoy some other food. And it doesn't affect me as much. But you got to be willing to build that foundation. And it's all a mental game. And that's the hardest part for people, is doing the same thing over and over and over, eating the same thing over and over and over. But you don't have to do that. The biggest thing you just want to track is like your calories, your macros, just to make sure that they're on point. But when you're consistently mixing and matching foods or changing it up, it's hard to stay consistent because you're always changing things. And when you're changing things, that doesn't build consistency. even if the macros are the same. So if you're on a weight loss journey like I am, eating the same thing every day makes it extremely easy. And yes, it is a challenge to eat the same thing every day. That's why you got to be very careful when you pick the foods that you're picking or the meals that you're choosing to eat. That's why I have pasta in there. That's why I have my protein pancakes. I don't put fish and shrimp because I like shrimp, but it's not my favorite, and I don't like fish at all unless it's sushi. But I don't know how to make sushi from scratch, so I don't know how to track that shit. But what I do know how to track is like a rigatoni chicken pasta meal with some sauce on it. I can track that. I can track white potatoes, broccoli, and ground beef, or with rice, or any of those things mixed with any of those carb sources, because I consistently eat those, and I like to eat those consistently. They don't bother me. But when you have too much of a variety, it can make it challenging. So just be careful. But variety isn't always bad, but it does make it a challenge to stay consistent. So these next 6 weeks, 2 things I want to dial in more are going to be my dieting, or meal planning. I don't like dieting. I don't like that word so much. So my meal planning, making sure that's dialed in and bulletproof. And then also getting in some cardio. Start working in, getting 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day, because it'll help enhance the fat loss journey. It'll help, speed things up. I'm not looking to do this overnight. I'm not looking to go from 209 pounds to 175 in 6 weeks. I want to do it at like maybe a pound a week, something slow. But I want to get to that weight because that's the weight I was when I played college football, and I was extremely lean. Do I want to stay there? No, because I feel like it's really small for my build. But I want to get there so that way I can build to a weight where I'm comfortable, which is 195 to 200. But I want to be 195 to 200 lean. So it's going to be a process, a journey. But that's why I say, love the process and enjoy the journey. Ooh. So we're gonna hit some mobility. I just walked on the treadmill on an incline for 25 minutes, get my body warmed up. Now I'm just gonna go through some light mobility training. Start upper body and then work my way to lower body. Ooh. So I'm going to do more research on mobility training and things like that. Just because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to work what feels good right now. So there's no method to the madness. It's just what I've always done, is start with my upper body and then work my way down. Shoulders are always pretty tight. So it's definitely an area I'd like to loosen up. They have that stretch where you can reach both hands behind your back. I'd like to be able to do that both ways, not just one. Ooh, almost fell into the wall. Yeah, if there's one thing I know this gym does really well at is their tours. And they tour people like every 5 minutes, I feel like. It's a great gym, though. Everybody should sign up for this gym. Carbon Performance, Atlanta. Probably should do one more. I was saying probably should move her one bar so I can fully hang, but it worked out alright. I've never really done dead hangs, but I've seen and read that they're really good for shoulder mobility, not just decompressing your spine. Definitely feels good. Do one more of those. Yeah, my lower back definitely feels tight. See, this is that quiet work that nobody really cares to see, but it's just as important as the crazy lifts, the sets to failure, the long runs, whatever you're doing. This shit is just as important. Mobility out of the way, we're done with that. Now we're on to my second meal of the day, which is going to be a rigatoni pasta, chicken breast, and a little bit of sauce meal. So this is 215 grams of rigatoni pasta cooked, 200 grams of chicken breast, and 125 grams of carbs. Don't have the macros and calories breakdown. I'll list it in the description. I'll list all the normal meals I eat in the list in the description below. But like, this is my staple of a meal. I love it. I can eat this shit all day long. So this goes along with like keeping it simple to what you like, but also I'm not the guy that believes you got to cut out things that you enjoy to eat. Like, I'm always going to eat pasta, never going to get rid of it. I'm always going to eat bread, never going to get rid of it. I'm always going to drink caffeine. I'm never going to get rid of it. This is coffee right here. I love coffee. I love pasta. I love chicken breast. This shit I like. But we're going to eat this, crush this meal, go to the birthday party, see what they got. I'm not going to film anything at the birthday party because it's a family thing, and I don't want this to be showcasing family events or anything like that. Just showcasing my journey. So just between you and me, audience and Matthew, keeping it very simple, very light. But, you know, as this page progresses and grows, we'll see where it goes. But right now, this is just about showcasing my journey to like take you guys through everything that people don't really showcase, like the behind the scenes things, right? I don't think people really showcase, you know, in between sets and things like that. They want the most exciting things. But what about the things that you do in the quiet and the dark when nobody's watching? Kind of like that mobility stuff. That's the stuff that I want to showcase.